Greetings, rise and shine, brethren. We are the World Global Reset Restoration Network family, comprised of 198 sovereign nations with over 7 billion sovereign principles, being of one mind, one heart, and one spirit, walking together under the divine principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I come to you as a voice in the wilderness to introduce to you a man. No, not just any man, but a man sent by Yah Allah to redeem mankind. Dr. Hindu I.L. Henderson, the Adak Chief Justice of the Universal World Court, and who's also known as Yehoshua Mashiach, the Son of Man. The information that you will be receiving in this and other videos you won't get from anywhere else on the planet. Hear the many truths and fulfillment of the laws, judgments, and sentencings from our Creator, Father Yah, as well as the fulfillment of the true interpretation of the Holy Scriptures and books. Now, without further ado, Dr. Hindu I.L. Henderson with his beloved host, Shelley Bowling.
Well, family, we have a lot of our brothers and sisters moving across this planet. Many of them are undocumented immigrants, and this is a situation that is going on globally. As transparency is the key for going forward, we know that we all must be identified. That's where the indexing comes in. We also know that true identification must be provided. There are laws in place such as Know Your Customer that go along hand in glove with this. Recently, New York State passed a law called the Green Light Law, which basically provides driver's license to undocumented immigrants. Therefore, they cannot be properly identified. So this, in effect, has affected the global entry system that is in place so that all of our customs and departments within the different nations know who's coming and going within their nations. So these are the things that now are being implemented so that everyone will be able to identify themselves through the indexing, and that we can have true understanding and transparency of who we're dealing with. We also have the Clean Funds Act that is in place now through the global network. It will track literally every copper penny on this planet. And this is providing transparency regarding funds transfers, etc. Someone recently dealing with this was Charles Lieber. He happened to be the chairman of Harvard University's chemistry department. Just a few days ago, he was arrested and charged with lying about payments that he'd taken from the Thousand Talents program, which was a Chinese funding company for research. Laws are in place that researchers are supposed to disclose if they have any foreign funding, but Mr. Lieber did not do so. Therefore, information came out later that clear back in 2011, Mr. Lieber agreed to help set up a research lab at a name that's going to sound very familiar because of what's going on in the area now, the Wuhan University of Technology. So we see that all of this information now is coming out because of the Clean Funds Act. Transparency, again, is what is necessary.
The United States, this rising shine day, I came to you by way of the international call. Some of you were able to be present on the call. And you heard me speak about identity based upon indexing. I threw it out there in the manner where all of the international world now has been able to identify themselves and have been able to give that indication based upon acceptance of certain would-be documents and based upon what may be considered to be part of the prophecy of the book, whereby it has said that there will be those that will be able to only accept the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast can be plainly seen upon the faces of the people. It can be seen upon the hands and the foreheads of the people. The mark of the beast. We do know that now the international card, identification card, ID card they may call it for short, does truly exist. I told everyone today how you could recognize it and how it has been placed before the people where it can even be hidden in plain sight. But I assure you that if you have what is known as a state ID right now, if you have what is known as a state license, I would challenge you now to take it out. Take it out. You're in America, you can do such. Just take your ID out right now. Take your state ID and your would-be license, would-be state resident out. Take a look in the right-hand corner of your license. There should be a star right there on your state license or on your state identification card. It should be right there in the right corner. If it's there, let me explain to you. You have already been recognized as a people or a person to be at least identified when coming into any federal government, even in a national building, an embassy, a hospital, or even your local police department. Go down to your DMV. Go to your public safety building. All of them already know that that star should be on the right-hand corner, upper right-hand corner of your identification card. And if not, trust me, they're going to begin to look at you very strange, because that's going to tell them that you are not truly, fully identified as an individual that's in the world of international recognition. So whereby they're going to start looking at you kind of strange. Many of them might just go ahead and tell you the reason why. Those of them that do tell you the reason why, telling you that you either need to get your cards renewed Or they're telling you that you have not yet been renewed, neither have you been identified, and thereby you can be classified as a non-productive individual on the planet, and whereby, if arrested, they can hold you indefinitely based on the fact you have not yet been given an international recognition on the planet. Stay with me. Go ahead, test me, question me. Let's see if I'm telling a lie or not. Why don't you go down? Go down to your would-be, your local places and where you receive your identification, your license, your state ID. Go there. Go to your headquarters. Ask them. Ask them about the star that should be on your ID card if you don't have it. Let's see what answer they give you. More than likely, they'll tell you, well, you haven't renewed yet, and it will be on your next renewed identification. Or they're going to tell you if it's not on there and you just renewed, they're going to tell you more than likely there is some reason or another that they did not qualify you, and thereby you're not going to be qualified to go into courtrooms, again, embassies, international buildings. You're not going to be able to go into federal buildings. For a matter of fact, you can't even visit the White House and get in, because you don't have that star on your identification card. Thereby, you have been not yet internationally recognized, and thereby you're classified as a non-productive individual. I know. Everyone's been making up their own identification. But I told you back in 2005 that they were going to be making an international ID card, and I told you it would behoove everyone to go ahead and accept it. Not because you're becoming part of their system, it's so that you won't become part of their system. Stay with me. Let me help you out. Right now, they are looking into the fact that knowing that October the 1st, they made it mandatory, October the 1st of 2019, that everyone should have went down and renewed their identification and renewed all of their would-be so-called state IDs, registration IDs. By 1 October 2018, they were asking people to do it. By 1 October 2019, it was mandatory. Now, January the 1st, it goes into effect. Stay with me. America. BB, wake up. I'm ringing your bell again. I'm ringing your bell. Wake up. If you have not yet asked these questions to your state officials, to your community officials, to your council officials, to your representatives and who you're paying in Washington, D.C. and in all of the states in which they say they represent you out of, let me help you out. They are not working for you. They're working against you if they haven't told you these things yet. How many of you have received your mail already where these things that I am saying to you have already been you made aware of? How many of you have been made aware of it? I know. Not many of you. There are those of you that have been made aware of it. But let me tell you something. You got a lot of homeless brothers and sisters that are out there. They had no place of residence. Thereby, they wasn't able to even qualify for a state ID or a license. You got to have a place of residence to be able to at least be able to qualify for these pieces of identification. You're either a student in school where you can show that you're going to school. You have to have a job that shows them that you do work for a job system. You must have at least a would-be so-called light bill or an electric bill, or you must at least have some would-be landlord, or you have a so-called would-be contract of residence. not going to give you any ID. Thereby, they put you in a position where you will be classified non-productive, and if they catch you, and they will, they're going to exterminate you off the planet, first of all, by way of placing you, as I told you before, in confinement. Solitary confinement. Indefinitely. Oh, you don't believe that still. You don't trust what I'm telling you. I know. I told you before, and you went on to say, oh, he's crazy. He's only talking. Go ahead. Reach out to some of those brothers and sisters that are already locked down. Ask the majority of them, what are they being charged with? Laundering, homeless, looting. Ask them, what are they being charged with? Many of them would tell you, I don't know yet, because I haven't been given a charge. I was picked up as a vacant. I had no place. I was not living anywhere. I was only going from place to place, house to house, lying on whomever couch would allow me to. And then I got stopped by the police. And this is where I ended up at. But now they want to deport me. They just don't know where to deport me to because I don't have any identification. They are even telling me that if I have a birth certificate, I must present it, but I can't present it because I don't have it. And for me to get it, I have to go down to the registration building to pick it up. But to pick it up from the registration building, I must give them a residence location so they can send it to me in 3 to 5 days. Come on, y'all must get exactly what I'm saying to you, U.S. obey, you would-be so-called United States citizens. You must get what I'm giving you right now, so the example will come clear in your minds that what you have been getting warned of now is becoming reality, and now you're going to have to speed the process up, not of listening, but of taking action. I know everyone is trying to make their ID cards. Those in whom we have identified, those that we have indexed, you can relax. We got you covered when it comes down to that. When they start looking for that star on your ID, we got you covered. Just sit back and relax. Those that have not yet been indexed, I don't have to scare you. I don't have to put you in fear of anything. I'm telling you, you better find something to do quick. Because when they come to you and that ID card don't have that star, and when they come to you and you can't present that ID card, I don't care if you're brandishing them a Moorish ID card. I don't care if you're brandishing them a so-called Hebrew Israelite ID card. I don't care if you're giving them a so-called would-be native ID card that you got from somebody's would-be clan. I don't care. I'm telling you that when they come to you, if you cannot prove to them that you have been identified and indexed on this planet to be classified as a living being, a being that is a trustworthy being, whereby he can at least take care of himself, where he is not considered to be non-productive, you are due. And for all of you who have not yet been identified, for all of you now who are still in question, should you or should you not index yourself? Indexing, again, is the word based upon being identified. Index is nothing more than making sure that you're recognized, that you will be acknowledged. And now that the United States has not truly been acknowledged, you must find your place among the 12 tribes of Israel based upon your blood, DNA, and RNA. Let me help you out for all of you that now consistently tell yourself, I'm not going to index myself. They're just going to have to find me. Those of you you that say, well, if they take your blood, they're going to take your blood and use it for some other purpose. Let me help you out. They're not going to take that much blood for you. You should realize yourself that it takes more than a teacup of blood for you yourself to be able to survive. So thereby, them getting a prick of your finger of your blood is not going to drain you, and neither will they be able to use your so-called identification to buy a house or a car on. So let's stop the ignorance and get yourself identified. Let me help you out with now the process of understanding once again what indexing is all about. Right now you have nations like Somalia. Yes, it's classified a nation even though it's in Africa. You have those areas in Africa. You have those areas that are in Guatemala, those areas that are in San Salvador, El Salvador. You have those areas that are even in Mexico. You have those areas that are in Canada. You have those areas that are in Russia. You have those areas that are in Japan. You have those areas that are in China. Right now, many of them are standing at the border of what you deem to be the United States of America, whereby they have already been tested based upon them doing indexing in their land, in their area. And those that are down there now standing at your border just so happens to be unidentified. They have no indexing. No one knows who they are and where they came from and how they came to be. So now they are to be those in whom will go out and find their own identity, find where they fit in at, or they will be executed based upon being annihilated off the planet as those that would have been unknown. You're wondering why they're down there fighting and skirmishing, fighting for food, fighting for even a bottle of water, fighting for medication. Because they haven't been identified, they have no indexing. And now the United States of America, your nation, is down there with nothing more than a syringe. This syringe that they have, they're trying to draw just a little bit of blood from those individuals that are down there. Yes, they're going to do DNA and testing on those that are down there. I know you've heard about it. You got to understand that now your congressmen and your congresswomen and your Senate leaders and your Democratic Party and your Republican Party are all fighting. They're trying to fight this DNA would-be system in which now is up on the earth. Why? Because many of them realize that once given their DNA and RNA, that they're going to be found to be in the wrong area as well. They haven't identified themselves. They're not indexed. Nobody can say what tribe they come out of. Nobody can truly tell them where they came from. Most of them are classified to be misfits anyway. Most of them have been already classified to be non-productive. So what's going to happen is they're going to be quickly rushed off into what is known as the concentration camps. They will be sent off into these Fema Camps, and from there they will be exterminated one by one. Or unless someone comes up and claims them based upon saying, that's my family member, and we can give you enough blood, DNA, and RNA to prove that he is a part of us, or he will be eliminated, exterminated, so to speak.